Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thrive in Your Mission. I am Elvira Hopper, and I'm here with my fabulous partner, Tavia Sharp. And we are going to be discussing another juicy topic today that really speaks to my heart and soul because we're talking about the need for internal validation versus external validation when you're in your mission, right? Because the world is going to say whatever it wants to say, right? But if you're in alignment with your highest purpose, your highest self, you're going to listen to what's true for you, and you're going to receive the downloads, as we talked about in the last show, the downloads that you need in order to accomplish your mission. And it could be that nobody validates you, like let's say in your family or your friends, right? Like they don't see you, and this is the importance of being in the right communities that do see you, because it's even though you're in this community, there you don't know for sure if everybody's going to validate you, because this is where the inner work comes to say, okay, well, yeah, that person sees me, that person doesn't see me so much, but I'm going to you know like sit in my value and know that this is the right thing for me to do. And so internal validation is extremely important. Like I think about the years that I was in big pharma where I needed external validation like I needed oxygen, and this was not a healthy way to live. And so if you're kind of at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, take it from me, like somebody who's a vet for doing this 15 years, make sure that you're validating yourself. Listen to other people, what they have to say, but ultimately tap into your heart, your soul, that little voice that knows, yes, this is what I'm meant to do. And even if people look at you like you have three heads, you
Mm.
need to validate yourself and your mission. Like I had two best friends of almost 40 years each when I before my breakdown and breakthrough, where I received the Love Your Vibe Miracle Mindset. This way I live today. I've never said that before. This way I live today. But back then I was in big pharma and I was a total crap magnet and I didn't even know it. I was making lots of money. I was being validated from the outside, with a bigger salary, a bigger car, bigger, vacation package, like all of that. Like that's where I got my value from, and my two best friends that I knew, from one from grade 8 and one from grade 10, they knew me as that person that needed that outer validation.
Mm.
So when I had the breakdown and breakthrough where I validated myself and I didn't need their validation anymore,
Mm.
they didn't know what to do, and so we just kind of split apart. And there's nothing wrong with them. They're beautiful souls. Like if one day one of them needs a kidney, I'll be the first one in the hospital checking to see if I'm a match. Like I still love them, just from a distance, because I had to validate myself. If I depended on just their validation for my value, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, right? So and they were such important people to me, but to be able to separate from them and to say, no, what you saw me as is not who I truly am. I'm going to step up and own who I truly am. And when I did that, I became a jazz artist at 51 professionally. I did my first jazz album at 54. One of them didn't show up at my jazz CD launch. The other one showed up, talked to my mother the whole time. So neither of them could see me as my aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed self, and it hurt. But I was able to learn to love them from a distance, so that I validate myself, and as a result, I've attracted amazing people that do agree with me, hey, what you're doing is amazing, right? But I don't need that validation because I validated myself. It's just what the universe does. It matches, how you feel about yourself with people that you attract, right? So I'm just going to
Yeah.
drop it there and get your perspective, Tavia. What do you think?
No, I mean, it's true. I think, when you're someone who is into developing yourself, so you are constantly evolving and changing, like you actually want to evolve yourself, then it makes sense that people that don't align with that will fall away. They fall
Yeah.
off. They don't go with you on the journey. They kind of were a part of your journey, but they'll
Yeah.
fall away, and it's just normal, right? Because you're going like this and they're staying over here. It's an
Yeah.
energetic thing, and it's very normal.
Yeah.
It happens just with people who are, constantly working on themselves, and they become a higher vibration, and the other people that don't have the similar vibration fall away. It's resonance, right? And
Yeah.
I think we just have to, as humans, understand that, and not
Hmm.
be like, oh, well, they're not there. They're not, they just stopped talking to me. No, it's not about that. It's just that you just don't sync up anymore. And
Yeah.
that's happened to me many times. I've had people who were I considered very close friends, and then I just woke up and saw that they were a little bit of an emotional vampire, and they just weren't, the right people for me to continue to be around. And unfortunately, like you mentioned, when you kind of awaken to that, and then you realize it, it's almost like they know too without saying that. And then they're like, oh, well, they don't need me anymore, or I can't
Mhm.
use them anymore, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? And so you're like, no, you can't. And that's just what it is. So they naturally fall away. And we
Yeah.
just have to know that that's a part of life, all types of those relationships. And it's natural. Just like, I think, it's funny because I didn't realize we were going to even kind of talk about that, but I think it does have to go a lot with what we're talking about today. Like, you have to really be in alignment with yourself, and not worry about getting the validation from anybody else.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard. I personally think about that, especially when I am, wanting to share something online. And I think, oh, what are people that are really close to me in my everyday life? Like, what are they going to say about this? They're going to be like, what is she talking about? What is she putting out there? Right. But when I look at other successful entrepreneurs, that I look at, their brands, I'm like, wow, they are crystal clear. And this sounds a little out there, but you know what? They are owning it. And I see
Yeah.
it clearly. Their energetics are like, they are owning this thing that they do. And it could be some weird thing that just like a regular person's like, what is this? But for them, they're like, this is it. This
This is
is
my
my
mission.
truth. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
my mission. I
Yeah.
know it. I own it. And they obviously get the people that are really like resonating with what they're
Yeah.
saying and who they're being, right? Because I do believe it's, you got to step in and own who you are and your mission before you can sell a single thing. And
Yeah.
that's just, so even if you're like, oh, I'm going to tip my toe out there, which I feel like I did. I was like, oh, I'm going to just put the little test the waters. I didn't really fully step in and own it. So no wonder I didn't get that
Yeah.
many people to raise their hand and say, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's me. Because I didn't own who I
Yes.
was and what the mission is. We got to
Yeah.
own the mission we're on,
Yeah.
and once you're in alignment with it, you can fully sync up with it. That's when you don't need anybody's approval. We don't need to worry about what she, whoever is going to say.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because you know who you are and what you're here to do, and that who you're here to serve. And
Yeah.
that's what being a mission driven entrepreneur is all about, really.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So well said. Yeah, like we we just have to, keep sharpening the saw, as Stephen Covey said in the, Seven Habits of Successful People. Like we constantly have to do the work on ourselves so that,
Mm.
we can eliminate any like we will attract naysayers, and people that will criticize if we're not super clear on our mission, right? We've got to get super clear on who we are and why we're here, right? That rhymes.
Yes.
Get super clear on who you are and why you're here. And then you validate yourself,
Yeah.
and the people that don't validate you because they don't see it, because they're just not in your vibration, like you said, they're going to leave. Like my two besties of,
Hmm.
like almost 40 years. But then you're going to attract new people. And those people will likely validate you but you don't need it. This is what's really cool is because you validate yourself, you don't need that
Yes.
other validation, but you get it because you've
Yes.
separated from those that don't see you, that don't validate you. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, you were part of my story. Like my two besties, like we had, we got married around the same time, had kids around the same time. We were meant to go through all those things, but then when I had my breakdown, my burnout, whatever you want to call it, at the end of my corporate, and I went to my next level, they just could not relate. And so I had to learn to validate myself. And that was hard because it took about 2 years for us to separate. So I'm here to say if you're not feeling seen by people in your life right now, do it faster than 2 years. Like I took a long time to do it. And again, it doesn't make those people bad or wrong. It's just that
Yeah.
your mission is more important than you. This is how I like to see it. You're a mission-driven entrepreneur and you've got a reason for being here and you're here to make the world a better place. And that's bigger than you. So
Yeah.
anyway, I hope that
Yes.
that inspires you. If you have any questions, please join us we have a meetup coming up, the Thriving Your Mission meetup on October the 28th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. It's in the Thriving Your Mission group. You can get the link from that. But we hope to see you there if you want to be a part of an incredible community. The last one was amazing. Tavia was crying. It was so beautiful. And
Me too.
honestly, like if you want to be surrounded by some really inspiring people on a mission too, and maybe you could collaborate, co-create, who knows,
Mhm.
uh, then please join us. So
Yes.
thank you.
We welcome
Awesome.
you.
Okay.
And
All right.
and we will see you next
We'll see you
time.
next time on another episode of Thrive in Your Mission. Take care.